everyone, my name is Nana and welcome to Furensics, where true crime meets the animal world and every animal deserves justice. If you're new here, hi, and if you're returning, welcome back, boo. Glad to see you again. Now y'all, I had someone close to me tell me a couple of days ago, I'm assuming, I'm not sure when they said this, but it was said nonetheless, that I be breathing hard in my videos. Now, I do have a breathing condition. I do want to let you guys know that I do have a breathing condition. So I am so sorry if I'm breathing too hard in my videos. And the name of my breathing condition is called obesity. Sis is obese.
You're fat, Helen.
So if I'm breathing hard, that's why, because I do have a breathing condition. So just bear with me and my hard breaths. All right. We're going to get there together. We're there together, you know. Now, today's story is about Tyke the elephant, but due to my pronunciation issues, I'm just going to call her Ty because I do have an insecurity about that, all right? Ty was an African elephant born in Mozambique, and she was captured in 1977. It is assumed that Ty was captured when her herd was cold. Ty was just a baby when she was captured, and when she was captured, she was then transported or exported to the United States between the years of 1978 and 1979, and she was sold to the Hawthorne Corporation. And you guys, that company, they had so many USDA violations, it didn't make any sense. Like more than you can count. But she was sold there. This company was also owned by a man named John Cunyeho. I'm assuming that's how it's pronounced. During this time, Ty began circus training, and this training consisted of bull hooks, chains, isolation, and dominance-based training, or dominance-based conditioning. In the early 80s, her handlers noted that she became agitated under high stress situations, that she would become very defensive, and she would have the defensive trunk motions as well as trunk swaying. Y'all done took mamas away from her family in the wild, and y'all done brought her here to do some circus training for you clowns. I wouldn't want to comply either, but that's just me. That is just me. I'm sitting here wondering why she don't want to do nothing for y'all, baby. She is a whole elephant. It was also noted that Ty resisted training, and she was known to have an extremely bad temper. Now, knowing all of this, they still decided to keep Ty in rotation for the circus. Some stuff never changes, you guys. In 1988, Ty had her first notable incident that's on record. During a show, she knocked down her trainer, charged at staff, and she almost managed to escape that time, y'all. Would you know something? I ain't mad at it, because I probably would have did the same thing. But okay, yeah. I probably would have did the same thing, though. A report was filed during this incident for what she did, and nothing changed. The scheduling didn't change. Ty was not taken out of the show. She was still actively performing, even though she had just did this crazy act, which I'm not going to call it crazy, but you guys get where I'm going with this, right? Even though she just almost physically harmed her staff, that wasn't enough for them to leave her alone and take her out of the show. There were also no corrective actions from Hawthorne. In 1991, in North Dakota, another incident transpired with Ty. It was recorded that Ty became uncontrollable during a practice session. In this incident, Ty broke free. It was noted that she knocked over props that was there during the time of the practice session, and she almost managed to escape again. In order to control Ty during that moment, the handlers used bull hooks. I don't know, y'all. I kind of see why mamas is acting up. You know what I'm saying? Because I would want to act up too, but you know that's neither here nor there, y'all. Cause not y'all using bull hooks and thinking that that's gonna make her not act up. Not y'all using bull hooks on this poor baby. It's so many signs of her saying I don't want to be here. There are so many signs, and no one is like looking into them. Nobody is doing anything to change anything. Like, it's obvious. It's very obvious that this animal did not want to be there, and y'all are forcing her to be somewhere she does not want to be. In 1992, another incident was reported in Altoona, Pennsylvania regarding Ty. It was reported that Ty became agitated backstage. She charged at her handler or at a handler, and she forced several staff members to hide behind equipment to get out of her way. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to laugh, but y'all, come, okay, come on. I just can imagine the scene of her going berserk. It also was reported that during this incident, she tried to break her way through a loading exit. So a loading exit, basically where all of the equipment goes for the circus, she tried to break her way out of that. And listen, at that point, they should just let mama go. They should just let mama go. I blame everybody in this story. They should let mama go at that point. Cause she let them know right then and there, this is what I'm gonna do, and I'm going to break anybody who gets in my way. That's literally what come on. Come on.
Your intellect is as weak as your dollar. Failure is your destiny. You disrespect yourself and your nation. You are made of stupid.
In that circus report, they honestly BS their way through it, because what they said in the report was they listed Ty as dangerous behavior, but they still continue to use her in the show nonetheless. In 1993, Ty was leased by Circus International. I guess they didn't read up on Mama's track history, because ain't no way on God's green earth I would have leased her, knowing how agitated she could become, knowing how irritated she could become, knowing how her behaviors are showing clear and full signs that she does not want to be in that circus. And they leased her anyway. Good job, John. You're doing amazing out there. Great job. During this time, Ty was working long travel routes. She spent majority of her life chained to boxcars or in trucks. And also her agitation seemingly increased, which, go figure. Employees even stated that she appeared to be nervous, aggressive, and simply tired of performing. Was that so? I'll be dipped. In 1994, Ty refused to want to enter arenas. She began to test her chains, and she also tried to break away during loading periods. There are even times they said that she vocalized her distress, and if you know anything about elephants, they're vocal, but not to the extent that they said that Ty was. That means Mama's was in complete distress. Like, she wanted out, and they weren't giving that to her. And it was also noted by staff that she was becoming very dangerous, but she was still made to perform anyways. So go figure on that. In my opinion, Ty was giving out many warning signs that was seemingly overlooked. So that all came to a halt, though, fortunately, but also unfortunately, August 20th, 1994. This event occurred at Neil S. Blaisdell Arena in Honolulu, Hawaii. Shout out to the 808. Families and local reporters attended this event. At this event, Ty was not performing by herself. She was actually performing with two other elephants by the name of Janet and Tanya. Handlers actually noted that before the event even started, that Ty was showing agitation backstage. They said she was showing signs of swaying. She was not listening to the commands that the handlers were giving her. And they still made her perform. I don't understand what they were thinking about when all this was transpiring. Why couldn't this elephant get a break? It was obvious that she did not want to do this, and they still... I'm not laughing. I'm laughing because they're idiots. But it's just all the signs were there, and no one listened to any of the signs. No one read the signs, looked over them, anything. Y'all, no. All right. Now, everybody has taken their seat, you guys. Everybody is ready to see this show. Everyone is so excited to see these elephants perform. And how ironic is it that Ty and Jeanette and Tanya, they are the opening act for the show. How crazy is that, you guys? An agitated elephant. An agitated elephant is an opening act. Y'all folks are idiots. So they were the opening act. And as soon as, I guess, them curtains dropped or them curtains opened, they said Ty went for the gusto. The first thing that Ty did was went and knocked her handler / trainer, Alan Campbell, into the arena wall. And then she began to trample him repeatedly. Now, if y'all know anything about elephants, they are very smart animals. Very intelligent. I'm not sure what Mr. Allen did to mamas, but it had to have been personal for her to immediately, and you heard what I said, go for that man like that. Immediately. As soon as the act began, she was on that. She was like, bet, y'all want to play? Let's play. And the ball was definitely in her court. Now, as you can imagine, as all this is transpiring, this is in front of a live audience. So as all this is going on, people begin to run. They begin to scream. People are starting to panic. They're trying to get their kids out of the way. People are in a frenzy watching this elephant go to town on her trainer because she was not letting up. This is what happens with human negligence. If we just learn to mind our business and stay out of things, then I feel like we will be so much better at life. We'll be so much better at life, y'all. If we just mind our business and stay out of stuff, we would just be so much better. Entirely. It was also noted that trainers and handlers were trying to detain her and control her with bull hooks, but she was not receptive to any of it. Ty was not on that time, y'all. She was ready. She was on go, and that was just that. She had to get her. Ty was not responding to any of the cues, any redirection. She wasn't trying to hear none of that. Another trainer by the name of Dallas Beckwith, he tried to help, but Ty, she actually picked him up with her trunk and she threw him as well, and it injured him pretty badly. So there was nothing else that he could do after he was unfortunately injured as well. If y'all can hear all that noise in the background, it's my freaking cat. So I'm sorry, y'all. He's a booger bear, but he's my baby. But Jesus, why now? Now, Campbell, you guys, unfortunately, he did pass away. But Beckwith, he actually did survive his injuries. Now, after Ty ran havoc through this place, you guys, I don't know, y'all. I don't really like color on my lips. I don't even like stuff on my lips. I'm nervous about that. That's kind of light, don't you think? No, I'm lying. They ain't got no lips like that either. Little lip committee, unite! Little lip committee, unite! Then I'm putting it on like I just got lips like that for real. Oh my Lord, bless my heart. Kimchi! Now, after all that transpired, you guys, of course people were going crazy trying to get out of the arena. People were terrified. They were trying to shield their children, make sure that everyone got out there safe. Meanwhile, while they're doing that, Ty had a plan of her own. Ty was said to have broken through the barrier doors of the arena, the backstage doors, and the loading bay. She then forced her way onto the Honolulu streets of Hawaii.
We just stay here. We can run around.
It was reported that she ran for over 30 minutes and she ran through traffic as well. And her running for 30 minutes, y'all, they said it was non-stop running. Like, she took off and did not stop. But you know something? I don't blame her, though. I do not blame her. I would have took off running, too, because I'm fearing for my life at this point. I just want to get away. And, okay, let me take it back. I'm not running for 30 minutes. But, hear me out. But, in a sense, I understand. But I'm not going to do it. But we'll talk about that later. I'm BSing. Y'all just going to let me do this and not bake? I see how y'all feel. I really do. I'm over here creasing like some jeans. And y'all ain't saying nothing. The audacity of y'all. How could y'all treat me in this way? Y'all know I'm new. Over here shining bright like a diamond. Looking like an oily manifesto. Just looking like some oily, greasy chicken. And y'all just sitting there watching me. I see how y'all feel. Don't worry about it. I see how it is. Witnesses also stated that Ty looked like she was tired and that she just wanted to get away from everything. And honestly, I do not blame her at all. Could you imagine your entire life, you're locked up in boxcars, you're constantly getting disciplined when you're not doing anything right, you're constantly going through bull hooks, training. She probably was tired. Like, she just wanted to get away. She wanted to escape. And there was nobody there to save her. Nobody was there to save her. And there were so many warning signs and nobody did anything. Police tried to block her path. They also tried to fire warning shots at her legs to get her to stop. But it was deemed that she was non-responsive to any of the cues and too frightened and afraid to listen to anything that the outside world had to say to her. And sad to say, I'm guessing that the cops got tired of Ty or irritated with trying to work with her because they decided to fire pistols and rifles at Ty, and they shot her a total of 87 times.
There you go. The downtown 795 appointment is 3801. Should be available.
Unfortunately, during that moment, Ty did try to get up. People noted that they watched her struggle to try to pull herself back up after she collapsed. And then she just died in the middle of the street in Honolulu. Now, a lot of people cried during that moment, watching her stop moving. But that's how Ty ultimately lost her life, because police decided to open fire on her because she wasn't responding to cues, which I am deeply saddened by that, because she's an elephant. You know, she's not a human. She doesn't understand what you're saying. She's already scared. She's already frightened. There was nobody that could be called to come and get this elephant. There was nobody who could be called. Like, there was absolutely no other way that we could have went about this. And I do understand, you know, humans are in the street watching this, and no one wants anyone to get hurt. But I couldn't, me personally, I couldn't imagine seeing a helpless elephant running the streets and then get gunned down by the police. I couldn't. There was an necropsy performed on Ty. Y'all, you know I had to double check because I did spray my face with heat protectant one time, so I just had to make sure now. Now, Ty's cause of death was multiple gunshot wounds, massive blood loss, and internal trauma to her organs. Of course, there were over 87 bullet wounds, as well as lung, muscle, and liver destruction. She had stress indicators, which was consistent with long-term psychological trauma, as well as multiple broken bones. But this is where it gets a little crazier too, is that her stomach contents show that she did not get a consistent, healthy meal for a minute. So not only were these idiots ignoring everything that this elephant was trying to tell them without telling them, because it shouldn't have had to take, Lord, sorry, bless his soul, but it shouldn't have had to take her to trample this man, injure another one, run out into the streets of Honolulu and get gunned down for y'all to finally say, oh, maybe we should let her go. And that is why, this is why I love animals, y'all. And I'm very passionate about them. But y'all and I stamped it. I also noted that she had multiple wounds from the bull hooks that they were training with. Of course, Ty's death sparked international outrage, and due to the situation that happened, many people, animal activists, families, they sued the Hawthorne Corporation, Circus International, Honolulu, and the state of Hawaii. I said that right. Honolulu and the entire state of Hawaii. Okay, so if y'all know, Hawaii is made up of more than just one island. So Hawaii, yeah. Sued them for emotional and psychological trauma. A lot of the lawsuits were settled out in court and it did not go before a jury. This is where the USDA got involved. They actually checked on the Hawthorne Corporation and saw that they went against many welfare violations when it came down to Ty and their other elephants as well. One of the violations included the improper handling of Ty as well. In 2004, Hawthorne agreed to a consent decree. They had to surrender all of their elephants, as well as got fined a civil penalty. But this is where I'm happy to tell you guys some good news. Although Ty did pass away, long live Mama Soul, I swear. But new laws were set in place for people who try to perform wildlife animals, specifically in circuses. Hawaii has stricter law regulations regarding wild animals performing, and many cities actually banned people from performing wild animals. And due to Ty passing, she is now cited in almost all of the elephant welfare laws. So some good came from her passing away. It's just unfortunate that she did pass away. You know what I'm saying? And the way that she passed away. And the situation, period, in general. Yeah, y'all, that is the story of Ty the elephant. You know something, y'all? Fun fact, when I read the story, I actually shed a couple tears. And I thought that I was going to cry on this video. But, you know, I'm an emotional gangster, so... And I'm not trying to be funny, but I am an emotional gangster. But y'all, reading that really hurt my feelings. I'm like, dog, I could not imagine seeing something like that in person. Like, imagine being a child seeing this beautiful, majestic creature running through the streets, and this is how they handled it. Now, I understand public safety and all of that, but I just feel like there are so many different ways. Was there not a thing where you could put a net around her or something? Like, I feel like there could have been a different route than gunning her down in the middle of Honolulu. I just couldn't imagine seeing no foolishness like that. I just could not. That would give me major public anxiety. I would never go back outside ever again. Never. Y'all would never see my face. I would never go outside. I would definitely need time to recoup after something like that. I would need therapy. As if I'm not mental enough. But yeah, y'all, that is the tragic story of Ty. And again, the handlers and trainers and corporations and international places that failed her, because that is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But anyways, y'all, thank you for joining me on Furensics on today. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so we can keep uncovering the truth one paw print at a time. Bye! I don't know, y'all, I'm feeling a little cute today. I might have to go ahead and FaceTime somebody's son out here. I know it's a little basic, and I know I'm beginning, but you know, I think I did kind of decent. You know what I'm saying? Get a little decent. So I might go ahead and FaceTime me somebody's son.